family, welcome back. Let's get right on into it. So Colt and Larissa are now in this stage of their relationship where they're trying to make up from the drama that has happened before. So Colt feels really bad that he got Larissa arrested. So he's trying to take her up on this a makeup apology tour. And first things first is this date. So he takes her out for this intimate dinner. And this couple is such an odd couple. Colt is sitting here in his normal computer programmer attire, which he wears every day no matter the occasion. It's this button-up shirt, this medium button-up shirt, and these weird cargo baggy jeans that are only fitted around the top of his thigh and his butt, because Colt got a whole wagon, okay? And Larissa is in this Fashion Nova cheetah bodycon dress, and they just look like such an odd couple. Colt wants to surprise her with a prepaid credit card, and he drops this ball on Larissa, and he says to her, just to help you out because you just, I want to make you happy, and I know you've been through a lot. I want to gift you a prepaid credit card, right? So they start talking about the limit, okay? Larissa starts off at $1,000. Homegirl ends at $200. I'm like, you're a terrible negotiator. First of all, what in the hell is a grown woman gonna do with $200? She's not going to the freaking South Hop. She is a grown woman. That just lets me know that men have no idea how much it costs just for us to look even basic. Could you imagine what they think it takes for us to look sickening? They have no clue. $200. What in the hell is a woman? A woman with a whole vagina gonna do with $200? And they negotiated to that. Larissa, you are an amateur. I would have negotiated up to $500, and then after a little sexy time, got my budget up to $700. Sis, you new here. Ain't no way you settled on $200. Wow. Girl. And Colt was still like, oh, that's a lot of money. You don't want no woman, bro. Women are expensive. It is what it is. That's why we always want to do that as a provider. If you want me to pop out all these kids and still be snatched and sickening, you got to pay to play, brother. You got to pay to play. That's going to cost. Eyebrows, armpit, coochie, mustache, you know what I mean? Then it's hair, then it's skincare, then it's makeup, then it's the clothing, which is going to take the cake, and the shoes, which is going to break the budget. Then it's gym, then it's probably personal training for gym ain't in my hood. It's so many things that we have to do just to keep this together. That's why we work so hard. So we don't got to ask you for nothing. We know how much this costs. We want to always have a bag so we can keep ourselves looking sickening when we feel like it. And that also let me know, this is why Colt doesn't date American women. There's no way that this dude ever propositioned an American woman with that. A $200 prepaid credit card. A freaking limit of $200. Ain't no way he approached an American woman with that kind of nonsense. That's why he keeps on trying to go overseas, because he probably did that to an American woman and she laughed in his face and was just like, is it April Fool's? Because I know you're not giving me a credit card with a limit of $200 in Vegas of all places. Boy, bye. Okay, can we talk about Colt and Larissa's confessional? First of all, Colt, if you don't burn that damn burgundy shirt, did he buy them in bulk? I'm telling you, I feel like he bought this burgundy shirt in the same color and the same style as some big and tall warehouse sale. He just went crazy. He probably got 60 of them and just wears them all the time in freaking rotation, because he's sitting here in this confessional with the same burgundy shirt that we saw him wear last season. He's still wearing it. And guys, is Colt getting a little bigger? Because he's bursting out of this shirt. Bursting. I can't believe that Larissa, not even production, said, hey, let's adjust. I know you got another burgundy shirt and probably a bigger size. Can we use this one? Because the buttons were like holding on for dear life. And I was just like, nobody wanted to say anything to him? Because I kept on just watching the buttons like, if one of them pops, Larissa is going to lose it. So Larissa, who I am absolutely confirmed at this point that she is new to the scam community, because she negotiates to a $200 limit, right, on the credit card. Homegirl goes and uses it on lip injections. Lip injections. Child, you gotta flip it before you spend it. So she goes and uses it on lip injections. And the reason why she's getting lip injections is that she wants to get the lip injection so that she can be motivated to give Colty a blowjob. Because his sex drive is just out of control. And he wants it all the time. So she wants to look a certain way so she can feel motivated to do it. Or are you doing that so you can have an excuse not to do it? And be like, oh, my lip injection, like, I can't. Like, you know what? I don't want to know, Larissa. I don't want to know. I don't want to know about his sex drive. I don't want to know about the blowjobs that you're giving him. Frankly, it's triggering. It's a lot, especially when she explains it, and especially the way he looks when she talks about it. He gets so uncomfortable. He starts sweating. The shirt starts to spreading, and the buttons are holding on for dear. It's a lot. It's absolutely a lot, and I just can't. I can't think about you giving a blowjob in his house with his mama, and the cats is all walking over you while you're sucking on little Colt. I don't need that visual. Especially if he got that burgundy shirt on, girl. So then Larissa's talking about in the same confessional how expensive it is to, keep herself up, right? Totally agree. Totally agree. Woman to woman, I get it. Colt goes, oh, you sound like a prostitute. She was like, honey, a wife is more expensive than a prostitute. Tell the truth and shame the devil. That is the God's honest truth, which is why a lot of these men, because I watch a lot of ID channel, are killing the wife to go and live with the side chick prostitute because she costs less. The wife is expensive. You got me for a lifetime. A lot of times women are coming out of situations where it's just like, listen, you want me to be with you and you want me to do all of these things. If I'm going to live my life with you, you not only got to let me be in the same situation, like take me from my situation, and it is not the same situation or greater. Why in the hell am I here? Why am I pledging your life to you? I'm in the same situation I could have been in by myself, securing my own bag, living my own life, not answering to nobody or messing up my vagina, pushing out your big head kid. Yes, you got to spend a little coin on me. Are you kidding me? What in the broke male toxicity is going on here? Now let's talk about Ashley and Jay. Please, for the love of God, just break up already on this damn show. I can't take it. I can't take it. Ashley is miserable. Jay is an abused spouse at this point. I'm done. I'm done with the battered husband storyline. I'm done with I'm going to continue to treat him like garbage because he invited some chick over my house on Tinder. I'm done. There's nothing else going on with this couple. It's too much because I sit and I watch this storyline and it's just Ashley rolling her eyes and it's Jay looking like, just send me back to Jamaica. I can't. Something else has to happen with this couple for me to keep on being interested. If this is what they're going to give, I'm going to skip over them every episode. And you know what? I don't think you guys will mind. If they give me the same thing next week, I think I might skip them. Ashley goes on a revenge trip with all of her girlfriends to New York. So all of Ashley and her girlfriends from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, pulls up to New York City in all of their fashion straight out of 2002. And they go into this medium New York hotel room. I was just like, I'm sorry. Are they staying in a hallway of a Holiday Inn in New York City? Listen, New York is tight, right? The hotels, I've stayed in a couple, they are tight as well. But this right here, if you were staying in a hotel on TLC's budget, they could have got you a suite. You could have lied about it and been like, well, all of my girlfriends put their coins together and their WIC cards together and they got me this suite. You could have did that lie and I would have still went with it. But TLC, y'all got them in this single room in New York City. They was trying to party and it looked so cramped. I was just like, oh, Ashley, this revenge trip looks basic and corny as hell. Ashley, you're that girl that I knew you were, because her and her friends from 2002, they actually decides to start talking about the girl, right? And she starts like dragging this 17-year-old. Like, you told us that she was 17. You looked at her Tinder pic with your girlfriends and saw that her high school was in the background. And y'all still decided to film this scene, acting like you were going to come out of this looking like you done did something. You look corny. You look pressed by a 17-year-old at 33. You and your big basic girlfriends, y'all at this big age, shook by a teenager child, it wouldn't have been me. Because how do you not know at 30 that a kid can't come for you, can't touch you. Not at this big age. You a good woman. You know who the hell you are. Some 17-year-old got you in your feelings? Really? Like, first of all, think about it, Ma. The girl is closer to age and Jay than you are. You just look so dumb in this whole situation. And I feel so bad because I always want to root for the person that's been cheated on. Like, I don't do that deceitful stuff in relationships. The cheating and all that, I never side with a cheater. And I'm not siding with Jay, but I have so many issues with Ashley because she is just impossible to root for. Here is why. Her and her girlfriends at their big age starts talking about this little girl's body. She's a lot larger than me. Girl, you delusional. You mean to tell me you don't think no big girl could take your man? Child, you better stay woke. They snagging dudes from every and any body. It don't matter. Big girls will jack your dude right in front of you and you won't say nothing because she a big girl and she can take the both of y'all down. You better stay woke, girl, because this big teenager took your man. And that's what you're really pissed about. That's what it is. So you're trying to laugh and trying to fat shame her, talk about, she's in high school, she doesn't really faze you, but she does. Because you and your girlfriends in your 30s, y'all sitting around having a go at a kid. You look foolish. I guarantee you this girl is watching this show with her girlfriends like, oh my goodness, look at these old broads trying to come for me. How corny, right? And then Ashley decides to leave the girl a message. Ashley. Hi, this is Ashley Jay's wife and her corny girlfriend's in the back like, ooh, oh my goodness. I would have took that phone from my friend like, are you kidding me? You look stupid and you're filming it. Girl, you're not going to have me looking like a dummy with you. And then I just thought about, could you imagine when that girl got that message? I guarantee you she was with her girlfriend and she was like, guys, gather around. Guess what voicemail this dinosaur left me? Ah! Girl, Ashley. You were your own downfall. Nobody else is helping you do this. This is you. This is all you. Paola and Russ. So basically their story is this. Russ tells his parents that Paola does not feel welcome by them. And they're shocked. The same people who said all of these things about this girl to make her not feel accepted. Comment on her clothes, comment on her look, kept on talking about her culture like she was a freaking alien from another planet, not an actual human being. You guys mistreated her. She doesn't want to be around you. She especially doesn't want to bring her baby around you because she knows how you treat people who are different. So of course she doesn't want to be a part. And so basically Russ is like, listen, you guys have to fix this because he knows that Paola is not going to let this family be around her child. I wouldn't either. You can't have bad blood with me and then want to be around my baby. I don't do no demonic vibes around my child. I ain't even got one and I'm still protecting my womb. So I understand Paola. So the parents are shocked. And can we talk about how this dad is a freaking robot? Just a robot in a meat suit. There's nothing going on. And he's just like, whoa, she dressed this way, so that's why we thought those things. It's not going to happen overnight. And then the mom in her confessional starts trying to cry. I'm like, what? Why are you crying? You are not the victim here. You are the bully, and you are being checked because at first you thought everything was working in your favor. You are the top dog. Now the golden child is being born, and you don't have no way of running that show. Paola is now running the show. Can we talk about how the power dynamics have changed? With this baby, like everybody is trying to make it right with Paola, and they weren't trying to do that before. But now because she's with Russ's child, she has to make it work because Paola has his child, so she has his heart. And so the family knows that there's nothing that they can do to try to break that up, especially now that there's a baby involved, so they got to make it work with her. And they never had to before. She had to make it work with them. Now they got to make it work with her. That's why the mom is doing all this crying, because she's losing power. She's losing the power that she once had and is transferring over to Paola, who is treating her with so much grace because she agrees to meet with her, even though she's still uncomfortable. And she tries to talk to this woman, and the woman is still very stoic and just like, well, you come from another culture. Stop with that. Stop with that. Oh, you come from a different culture crap. We are human freaking beings. Just say you wanted your son to marry some white woman from Oklahoma. You didn't want him to bring home this spicy chick with the big butt and the big titties. You can't get yourself together because you could never compare. Let's just say that. And stop with all that other drama and lies and mess that she keeps on trying to make about Paola because she's not as Christian as you guys are, or she wears, short shorts. You mad because you can't wear them short shorts. You mad because you can't look like that. You mad because when Paola walks in the room, all of those women start to judge themselves by her. And for them, they don't feel like they can compare. So instead of joining her, they tear her down. Instead of joining the gym, putting away a biscuit, getting their waist cinch, putting in some extensions, putting on a lip liner, putting on some lip gloss, they come for her because they start judging themselves by her. She's not even doing anything. She's just in the room. Then they start making all these assumptions about her, but it's just really jealousy. That's what it is. It's jealousy and the fact that the power shift is changing to somebody that the mother think is less than. That's what it is. And I wish Russ would protect her more, but I get it. It's his family, so he wants to make it some kind of like peaceful transition, but it's just not fair to do to your wife. And I feel like if he doesn't stand up for her in the way that she needs protection, where she can feel safe with him, he's going to lose her and he's going to lose precious time with his child. Next week's episode with this couple is going to be a hot mess. When he breaks down that he wants to move back to Oklahoma for a job, oh my gosh, can you imagine Paola raising her child in that miserable middle of America robot town? The devil is a liar. That right there, guys, that's the deal breaker for that relationship. If he forces her to move to Oklahoma, he gonna lose her. He gonna lose her. She is not going to do it. Just the thought of it, even in that clip, she was breaking down. That's not going to happen, Russ. It's not going to happen. And real quick before I move on to another couple, I watched this show, especially this segment with Paola and Russ, and I realized how blessed I am to have grown up in such a diverse neighborhood, a diverse city, to have experienced people who are not like me and be able to form relationships and friendships. And just what a blessing it is to be able to see beyond just simple characteristics that don't really make or break a person. It's just who a person is. Skin color, sexual identity. I've just been very blessed with that because I'm sitting here and I'm listening to Russ's mom talk to Paola, and she's just like, help me understand you. Like the way she talks to her and about her is just like she's not human, and it bothers me because I know it's racism. It bothers me so much. She's still speaking down to Paola, and Paola is still giving her so much grace. I've reached out to a lot of Latino women, and I'm just like, how can help me understand you? Because I'm trying to understand my daughter-in-law. Please help me. What do I need to do? How ignorant that you've never been in close proximity with a Latina person, a Latina woman, like they're all the same. And you're like reaching out to probably strangers who have no idea who you are and saying, I want to understand you people because I have one in my family. And she doesn't get it. She doesn't get how ignorant she sounds. But Paola, who's probably somebody used to dealing with this now at this point with this family, is still showing her so much grace. And it's just like, oh, wow. Woo, thank the Lord. Philly was rough. You know what I mean? It's a rough city, but my God, I'm so thankful for the experiences in New York as well. And then at LA, I've been really, really blessed because I realized if I was raised around people who were just like me, I probably would be just like Russ's mom, Russ's family, just completely ignorant. I don't know how Russ was able to open up to Paola like that, which is why I keep on thinking this is an arrangement. But I'm going to let it go. Nothing has come out yet, so I'm going to let it go. But when it does, we're going to have a Kiki right on this channel. Help me understand you. I don't know people like you. How are you this dense in 2019? You don't want to grow, mama. You don't want to grow. You can get around people who are not like you. You choose not to. You want to stay there. That is your choice. Now you're forced. You're forced to grow because you got somebody different, not like you, in your family, and it makes you sick. Paola, get out of that. Now let's talk about Elizabeth and Andrei. So Elizabeth went to her sister's house to vent about her father, and her sister was like, the devil is a liar, hell to the no, daddy is right, you and your bum husband are wrong. She wasn't expecting that. She thought that her and her sister were going to go back and forth with how awful and possessive their father is. And the sister was just like, no, she stood up for her dad. Because at the end of the day, like I said before, her father is at retirement age. He's not settling down or slowing down like he needs to be because he has to take care of Elizabeth, Andrei, and their baby. And then she wants to talk about him and drag him to anybody who would listen. And I'm so glad that her sister was like, no, you need to do better because what you're doing to daddy is wrong. Thank you, big sis. Get her together. She is so so entitled and delusional. Her and Andrei, it's sad to say, but they're perfect for each other because they're both very entitled. They're both very delusional. That is what brings them together. They live in this universe where everybody is supposed to take care of them and not complain, not come to them about it and ask, like, when am I going to stop giving you handouts? When are you going to be able to do stuff on your own? They get pissy. Like, people are supposed to do this for you. Nobody has to do anything for you, sweetie. But that's how Elizabeth and Andrei live. And it's so frustrating to watch. Entitled Andrei, with no job and no money, wants to move Elizabeth, his pregnant wife, out of the home where they're not paying rent. He wants to do that because the man that he made an agreement with, Elizabeth's father, is pissed because Andrei said, oh, Elizabeth told the dad, we can't pay rent, but we'll fix up the place. They haven't even done one repair. Nothing. And the dad is like, you didn't even keep your end of the bargain. You asked me for a home. I gave you a home. You asked me not to pay rent. I even allowed you to do that. We just made a deal so that he can just fix up some things around the house. So by the time you two get on your feet and move out, I can actually sell it. He hasn't done that. So I have a property where I've made no money and there have been no improvements on it. So I got to not only come in after having not been paid for the property and do the improvements as well. He's lost so much money and they don't care. So they decide to move out and Elizabeth is just like, well, we don't have it. So you know what I'm going to do? Ask my father. She asked her dad. And the poor father who loves her, he sees that his daughter is making such a dumb mistake. I honestly feel like he would still help her, but he probably would not be so hands-on if she wasn't pregnant. So even when she's talking to him, she's being nasty to the dude, defending Andrei to him, and then still asking him for support. And he does it because that's his child and he doesn't want to see her out on the street. Woo! Props to that dad. But where's the mother? Is she no longer with us? Maybe that's another reason why he overly compensates for her. Who knows the tea on Elizabeth's mother? Let me know in the comment section below. And you know what? Can we please stop blaming Andrei's laziness on Moldova? I don't think that's fair. I do not. Oh, he's from Moldova, so he can't do this. Oh, he's from Moldova, so he doesn't understand. Andrei is just lazy and entitled. Case in point, he goes to this job interview. Minimal experience in trucking, right? The lady is telling him, because you don't have a lot of experience, I'm still going to give you a job, but I'm going to have you on call. So you might be on call for 1 day. You might be on call for 26 days. If you need the money, that sounds like a great idea, especially when you have no experience. Andrei's just like, oh, that doesn't sound good for me. Oh, what if I don't want to do it? Can I still be on the roster? Are you kidding me? You don't have no experience. This lady is trying to help you. She doesn't need to help you as an employer. You know what I mean? This is not charity. This is a job. She's still trying to work with this dude, and he's just like, oh, let me go think about it. The lady was just like, Andrei doesn't have any experience, and then he doesn't want to do the work. Doesn't really look like a candidate to me that I want to hire here at my business because I need reliable people. So Andrei's complaining about that. Then he meets with Elizabeth and he's just like, I don't want to do the trucking anymore because I won't make enough money. Dude, at least you'll be making something. You and Elizabeth are both working. When you break it down, Andrei was probably going to be getting about $1,000 a week. If you take out taxes compared to what they live, probably bringing home maybe close to $850. That's still something. You turn down an opportunity or show up not even looking like somebody people want to hire by just how you're acting. Because when he walked in, he was very pleasant. I was like, okay, Andrei, go get it. But entitled Andrei jumped out front and I'm like, well, you lost that. You lost that job because I wouldn't hire you. Absolutely not. So then he tells Elizabeth, oh, now I want to start doing construction because I'm good at that. How the hell are you good at that? You haven't done anything around the house. It's just, this is such a disaster. It's such a disaster. And Elizabeth can't see it. Elizabeth can't see it because Andrei is tall. He got a nice body. He's somebody kind of cute that's interested in her. And she's probably like, I'm probably never going to get this again. So let me try to make this work. Girl, I'm a height hoe too. So I understand that 6'5" men can have you going crazy, especially when they thick and tight. I get it. A nice rock hard 6'5" man can woo a woman out of her panties in seconds. I understand. But sis, this is a nightmare situation and it won't get better with kids. Get out now. You and your father are going to be taking care of Andrei and all them damn kids, because what he's going to do is keep you pregnant. As long as he keeps you pregnant and keep you laced with children, he always has a connection to you and a way to manipulate you. If he's not manipulating you with his penis, he manipulating you with his seed. And if that don't work, he always goes back to the first thing that worked, the height. Okay? Elizabeth got to wake up. She's in a dangerous situation. This does not look good by the way he treats her and by the way he uses her. Sis, this is a nightmare. This couple, at first they got on my nerves, but now watching their story, I'm just like, I don't see any kind of happy ending. I feel like Elizabeth is going to wear out all of her sources and all of her support. And I think that's what Andrei wants, to get her by herself, to isolate her, so she believes that all she has is him, and she'll stay in a toxic, unhealthy situation because she feels abandoned and alone by her support. And her support is being pushed out by Andrei, and they're being worn out and taken advantage of by the both of them, so they don't want to be bothered. Oh, girl, 911. Now, let's end with Pedro and Chantel. This couple, oh gosh, I feel so bad. They are not happy. I like them. I really, really liked them in the beginning. But now we're here with them, and I just don't think this is a healthy situation for either of them. It's just not healthy. I feel like the families are manipulating their storylines because they like being on TV and they like the money coming from it. And I just feel like Pedro and Chantel are the show ponies for them. I do feel like the families are making unnecessary drama because it's good for TV and it keeps them coming back, but at the risk of Pedro and Chantel's relationship. And I just don't think it's fair. I really, really don't. I really feel like this couple needs to get away from both of their families so that they can work on themselves, but it's just not going to happen. And that's really, really sad because I think it's going to fall apart eventually. So Pedro is packed and ready to go to the Dominican Republic. Chantel is trying to talk to him. She doesn't know when he's coming back. He's not giving her any information. And I'm like, sis, this is your husband. He's leaving and going to another country for an undetermined amount of time. You don't know what he's doing there, who he's going to be with. All you know is that he's going to be there with people who don't like you. That's all you know. And she's cool with it. She's still trying to love on him. He is like checked out from her because he's just depressed. His situation is very depressed. He's excited to go back to the Dominican Republic. She's sitting over here sad because the man that she loves, her husband, is leaving, and she doesn't know if he's coming back because Pedro has been threatening her with that, right? So then we get this shot of Pedro, who was a totally different person, because now he's in the Dominican Republic. He's wooing and cheering. He's so happy to be home. And the whole time I'm watching him, I'm like, this dude is happy. He's happy, and he's not happy with Chantel. And they keep on talking about children. And I'm just like, guys, not only should you not bring a child into the situation, you should not even be together. You guys are happy. It doesn't look good, and I feel so bad because Pedro's like, woohoo, I'm finally back in the DR with my family. He's just a totally different person. He looks lighter. He looks skinnier. Like, he just landed, and he's a totally different person. If I was Chantel watching this, I probably would just be like, you know what, honey? Let's just end this because you're not like that with me. And that's who I married, and that dude is lost, and I don't know if we could find him and bring him back. Not in this situation. And to be quite honest with you, I understand Pedro's situation. I don't know if it's just like a black diaspora thing, but we are raised, no matter where you are, if you got this, we're raised to take care of our families, specifically our parents. So if you are somebody in the family making more money, it's just a given that you're going to take care of everybody. So I get where Pedro is coming from. The problem is he doesn't have a lot. And he's taking what he has with his wife that they can use to build to take care of his family. So that's causing the frustration. And the family is living like, Beverly Hills Housewives. They got their wine. They're toasting to him being here and being away from Chantel. They're having a good time. The house looks different. He keeps on sending them stuff. They keep on making improvements. And he's very happy because he's able to provide this for his family. But the kicker is you're taking from your wife. You're taking from the life that you have to build with her, to build your family. So you're not working on your marriage. You're actually taking from it to help out your family. And the thing that bothers me about Pedro's family is that they don't realize that, or they do and they don't care. They actually get upset when Chantel talks to Pedro about it, but it's just like, if we want to start a family, if we want to get a house, if we want to really build a life, we have to save for here. We have to build here. Now, I'm not saying don't help out your mother. Always grease your mama's hand, especially if you have it. But if you have humble means, you know, if you don't have a lot, don't give her the majority of what's in the pot when you're trying to build here with this new person. I just feel like he's off in that aspect, and I don't like that about the family, because they continue to pull from him and take from him and don't realize that they're taking from the life that he could build in the States to give them a better life, but they don't let the dude build. Anything him and Chantel get, they take. You know what I just realized in talking about Pedro's family? It's that Pedro and Chantel's family clash because they're the same thing. They both pull on the partners in this relationship. Chantel's family pulls on her all the time, specifically the mothers. The mothers are the biggest culprit in this couple's deterioration of their relationship. The mothers keep the drama going. Because even in the flashback clips of Pedro's sister, who is not my favorite, I felt like she was trying to have some peace, but I feel like it's the mom who keeps it going. And the same thing with Chantel. I feel like the men in her family try to like keep the peace, but the mom engages and, you know, just starts adding fuel to the fire and making situations bigger than they actually have to be. It's the mothers. The mothers are always the cause of a relationship falling apart normally. Normally, if the moms are not getting along, they are going to raise hell until that couple breaks up. If the mothers are healthy, and they don't even have to be besties, if they're cordial, that couple is going to have a very healthy relationship because they have moms who don't want anything but for them to win. Unfortunately, Pedro and Chantel don't have that. I told you guys last review that I was going to check out the video of the fight because I felt like there were some things that I was missing, and it was. However, I will say this, my opinion hasn't changed. I wasn't making River a child. I was saying that River was like almost a decade younger than Pedro, right? Pedro has married into this family. So you always, especially before there are children, you gotta walk a fine line because you're still trying to impress the family. It just is what it is. We all know that when you're dating somebody or you're newly married to someone, you're still in like a trial hazy. Everybody knows that when you're dating a person or when you marry into a family, until that kid comes, you're still kind of auditioning, you know, even when you got the ring, you know what I mean? Because at this point, if there's no children, people are just like, she can still get out of it. He can still get out of it. And that's what's happening, right? So my problem was that not only did Pedro go after her brother, he also went after somebody who was younger than him. And maybe that's just me. I don't let people younger than me faze me. I just really don't, because I feel like I've had my moments to be reckless and stupid and immature. I've lived through that, and I know where I was at that age. So I don't allow them to rile me up because I know what that was like. I've grown from that. I'm much more mature. So as the mature, level-headed person, I handle myself a certain way. Maybe that's just me, right? But even in watching this, I will say this. Chantel's mama started that whole thing. Now, Chantel and Pedro's sister were having some issues. Chantel took it to her mom. Her mother should have never brought it to the dinner table in front of everybody, where now all of these people are on a defense against Pedro's sister who was invited there. So now the girl feels ganged up on and attacked. And now her brother wants to protect her, and then he gets mad at his wife for putting his sister, who he loves, in that situation. Totally agree with Pedro. And yes, Chantel felt like the sister was faking. I get it, right? But why are you trying to make it worse? Because I didn't get that she was faking. Maybe she was, but I felt like when she walked in, she was saying hi to everybody. She was saying the food is really good. She was trying to talk to everybody. Chantel's mom made that situation awkward. She slit the match. Chantel supplied the gasoline, and then all of this stuff blew up, right? So even in the midst of all this drama, right, that Chantel's mama has started, Pedro is now on the defense because he wants to protect his sister, who he feels like he is being ganged up on. I totally understand. But while he's talking to his wife, Chantel, in the midst of her family, is feeling some sort of way about how Pedro and his sister is talking to her, right? So she got her whole family who now wants to jump in and protect her. I just feel like all of these conversations happen and they should not have happened in a space where it was unequally matched, because Pedro and his sister felt ganged up on, especially Pedro's sister. Pedro felt the need to protect her and nobody else was there to protect her. So they're on the extra defense. Then Pedro does this and I was just like, it's not going to get better from here. It's going to get worse. Pedro looks at the mom who's trying to interject with Chantel and his sister, and he goes, never do that to a black woman because you're telling her to stay in her place. Never tell a black woman from any culture to stay in her lane or in her place. That don't work, because all the black woman was just like, excuse me. And then they're on the defense now. So River now jumps in to protect his mom, who he feels is being attacked by Pedro, because they're going back and forth. Pedro, in all his machismo and anger, is now feeling some sort of way. He takes all of his anger that he had towards the mom, who has been making his life a living hell, and he turns it towards River, who already was dealing with a lot that his mother put on him and is now taking it out on Pedro, because in his mind, he feels like he is a culprit here because you don't want to look at your mother and all of her mess, right? So the mom is the problem here. I have been very honest about that. I still agree that Chantel's mama started all of this drama that's happening at this table right now. Pedro's mama as well, but right now, she started this foolishness. So now, because it's man to man, the machismo is turned up another level, because any respectful man, when he's talking to a woman or engaging in any kind of verbal banter with a woman, if he's angry at her, will still hold something back. But when a man gets involved, it's on. So they're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then River, who is not about that life, guys, he didn't want no smoke. He was just, in my opinion, playing tough. Smacks the light, right? Pedro ducks and it misses him. I don't think that he meant to smack the light at Pedro. I think he smacked it to try to intimidate Pedro. But Pedro, who's about that life, ducked and took off after River. Everybody is trying to break them up. Then Chantel's mother starts hitting Pedro's sister and pulling out her weave. It just became a whole nightmare. I still stand by the fact that I think that Pedro shouldn't have took it there to make it physical. If we want to take it to the court of law, the person who strikes the flesh first is the one that's in the wrong. And even though Pedro didn't get a hit, he went to attack River. And because Pedro was being held down, River actually punched him. So I'm not saying that everybody was right in this. I just felt like Pedro took it to another level when he ran after River to harm him, because that's what everybody saw. River was wrong for hitting that light, but if Pedro would have never went over there to attack him, I think they would have been able to deal with that situation, calm everybody down. The sister's weave wouldn't have been pulled out. I just feel like Pedro was the one that made it an all-out brawl when it didn't have to go there. Even the producers were holding Pedro back like, dude, come on. Come on. But can we talk about how the father wasn't mad at Pedro till he knocked over the chicken? I'm just like, your wife is getting pulled down to the ground. Your daughter is on the wall crying. Your son is getting attacked and punching people. You are not concerned about any of that until Pedro knocks over the chicken. He was like, oh man, why you do that? I'm like, now you say that? Not before your son almost got beat up by this grown man. And River is not a kid, but he's younger than Pedro. You know better as the older person. That is just my stance on it, guys. But I'm glad that I watched it again, because I know who was the culprit, who started that whole thing. Chantel's mama, which is why I am okay with Pedro not featuring her, because she caused all of this mess. And she comes with this fakeness of, oh, I want him to come over for Thanksgiving. You called the cops on him and immigration. You started that whole drama. You pulled out his sister's weave. Like, ma'am, you got a lot of apologizing to do. Sincere apology to do before that man comes over and interacts with that family. I don't blame Pedro at all. I really, really don't. The sad thing is, I believe this couple. I like them. I don't think that they can survive this, and I want them to. Unlike Elizabeth and Andrei, I think that couple is toxic and not healthy at all. Now listen, God can do all things but fail. So maybe that relationship could be repaired and the both of them could be healthy and fixed and work into something positive and great. But right now, my stance with Elizabeth and Andrei is that has to end. Pedro and Chantel, unfortunately, it will end. I don't want it to because I like them, but the families are not healthy. Pedro's mom and Chantel's mom are the kingpins, and they are creating so much drama that I don't think these two are old enough to survive. They gotta live a little bit more life. They gotta go through a couple of more things. I feel like if Pedro and Chantel were 37 maybe, they could survive it. Right now at 27, I'm not sure. And that's unfortunate because I like this couple. Anyway, I got to get out of here, guys. I got rehearsal. Let me know what you think about this episode in the comment section below. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you in just a few days for the following episode of 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After. I have an audition. I got 2 auditions and I got a bunch of rehearsals. So I don't know if I will be able to get to 90 Day Fiance. What now? I'm going to try, but just know if I don't get to it this week, I will do the next episode by Tuesday of next week. So, I'm trying to keep up with everything, but as I said before, if my career gets in the way, I got to do what I got to do. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.